Alrighty, hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and I know it's been a week since my last, the first part to my Killing Floor 2 changes and review video. So, without further ado, let's finally get to actually doing this video now, because now actually I got the time for it. So yeah, let's go. Anyway, so with that awkward intro out of the way, I'm sorry that I, didn't get around to actually doing this. This time it's actually because of sheer laziness. I don't really have any other excuse for that because, hey, in Japan everything's different. My life is thrown in a loop. So, anyways, like I said, without further ado, let's get started on the second part of this video. So, a few things that I wanted to mention in the first part of these Killing Floor 2 changes and differences video series is that that I wanted to mention in the first part. Did I already say that? I'm repeating myself already again. Is that first thing, the frame rate for early access for Killing Floor 2 seems to be locked at 60 FPS maximum, or maybe a few frames above that. When I was playing, or whenever I load up Killing Floor 2 and I have Fraps open, I have the option where you can set Fraps to show you how many frames you're getting when you're not recording, stuff like that, just as a benchmark. So without recording, it seems like my Killing Floor 2 seems to be locked in at 60 FPS, and I believe this is persistent for all users at the moment. Obviously, hopefully this is only because this is early access. Hopefully the full release of the game will not just be locked at 60 FPS, because that'd be kind of stupid. We are not playing on consoles, we're playing on PCs, PC Master Race, no, just kidding. But seriously, just for heads up, Killing Floor 2 Early Access is locked in at 60 FPS as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, for most of you who will not be recording and live streaming this game, you really don't have to worry about it, because 60 FPS it's manageable enough. I know a lot of people want their higher end frames and whatnot, but for the most part, smooth and whatnot. But obviously, when the full game comes out, we want to be above 60 FPS. Again, everything is liable to change because this is just early access. We don't know if this is all going to be in the full edition of the game or not. So, that being out of the way, let's get on to the actual meat of this video. So, as for the actual gameplay itself of Killing Floor 2, there are 4 available classes in the early access: Field Medic, Commando, Berserker, and Support. There are more to come in the interview videos on YouTube with the Tripwire devs that are, Tripwire is the developer, developer of Killing Floor 2. They did mention that there will be a lot more classes, at least a lot more than what Killing Floor 1 had. In Killing Floor 1, you only had 6 perks, I think. 6 classes perks. I'll use those terms like interchangeably throughout this video. But as for the early access for Killing Floor 2, there are only 4, but do not worry, there will be more once the game actually comes out. Instead of having only 6 levels per perk, as Killing Floor 1 had, well, technically 7, because you start off as level 0, and you rank your way all the way up to level 6. In Killing Floor 2, each perk has 25 levels, which is a huge improvement over the first Killing Floor, because obviously having 25 levels to rank up to is a lot more rewarding than just 6. And in Killing Floor 1, one of the main flaws about that game that I felt kind of bogged down, it's like the reward that you in the fun that you get out of playing the game, was that it took a really, really long time to rank up your perks. Like, I remember I have level 6 medic and sharpshooter. I think sharpshooter is the most one of the easier classes to get to max out the levels on. Medic at level 6 is just a pain in the ass, because you need to heal over like 100,000 HP on your fucking teammates in order to reach like level 6, and that's just level 6 alone. Imagine imagine how much HP you have to heal your teammates on, for all the other levels that you need to get to by that point. So the leveling up system for Killing Floor 1 was a real grind, and at a certain point, for a lot of people, it just gets plain boring unless you're a huge fan of the game. Now in Killing Floor 2, because the devs have divided up, or not, I shouldn't say divide up, but they've basically expanded the amount of rank up you can do to 25 levels instead of just 6 or 7. This means that you rank up a lot more consistently, and you rank up a lot more frequently, so it gives you something to look forward to, and your class improves every single time you level up. In Killing Floor 1, you had these generic, I'm basically I'm just quoting the devs straight from their videos on YouTube, their interview videos. But in Killing Floor 1, you basically had these generic level up systems where you had these effects that were, or these bonus perks within the perk. Yo dog, I heard you like perks. So that every time you ranked up or every time you leveled up, those perks would therefore increase by a certain amount of percentage. Once you hit like level 5 in Killing Floor 1, you got to start off, depending on your class, you got to start off with the class weapon. Like for example, level 5 medic starts off with body armor. Level 6 sharpshooters, or not level 6, level 5 sharpshooter starts off with a lever action rifle and whatnot, all those good stuff. In Killing Floor 2, every 5 levels you rank up, you get to choose between a perk, or between two upgrades. They're like tech trees in a certain way, but they're just really linear. It's not really that sophisticated or something. But it's nice to have. And these upgrades are one or the other. You can't choose both at the same time, unfortunately. All 4 classes in Killing Floor 2 have the same kind of tech upgrade categories, like they're all named the same, but for each class they're different depending on which class you're playing. So yeah, every 5 levels you level up, you get to choose between one of 2 upgrades. And the good thing about that, or the good thing about this, the Killing Floor 2 style upgrades, the upgrade every 5 levels, is that once you unlock those upgrades, or once you get to that next tier of upgrades, you can switch between those upgrades whenever you want. You can even switch them in game and between rounds or between waves. That's how customizable those upgrades are. Obviously, there's not a huge selection of them. It's like I said, it's just one or the other. But the fact that you can switch them whenever you want is a really, really big bonus, because this means that you can tailor your way, you can tailor your playstyle on the fly, and you don't have to wait until you die, or you don't have to wait until like the next game. You can do it within like between rounds. Obviously, you can't do it while a round's going on, like when there's an active rounds. But as long as you're in like a break round where you go to trade and buy stuff and sell stuff, as long as you win till the next round to and survive the next round, your upgrades will switch whenever you want them to. So that's obviously a really, really big plus there. Let's see, moving on to the next one. Another thing about the classes is that if you select one class and you switch in between rounds to another perk, some of the benefits of the first class you were will actually carry over. For example, if you are level 10 support and you choose the upgrade where the support gets plus 50 HP right off the bat, so you have a total max HP of 150 HP, which is really, really good for a support class. If you choose to switch to another class, then you'll actually keep that 150 HP when the next round starts, when you switch to that other class. So there's one time where I was a level 10 support and I reached level 15, so I wanted to get over to ranking up my, let's say, what was it again? My field medic class. So when I switched over to my my field medic class, I kept that 100 HP bonus, and I'm now a field medic. Once you lose that 50 HP, your max HP is now 100, so you don't get that 50 HP back. But the fact that your character still maintains some of the bonuses of your previous class is, I think, a really, really good thing, because obviously this means that if you play tactically, or in the opinion of some other people, if you want to abuse the system, what you can do is, if you have a level 10 support and you have the upgrade where it gives you 50 HP right off the bat, what you can do is spawn in as a support class with 50 plus HP, and you can just switch to another class the next round or so, as long as you keep that 50 HP, that additional max 50 HP, and you can just kind of work your way through from there. So obviously not all of these benefits are persistent when you change classes. It's very specific, like for example HP or armor or something like that. But once it's balanced in that, once you lose that kind of bonus, it won't come back to you unless you actually switch back to that class. So it's just a little bit of a detail that I did manage to pick up, and I think it's a pretty good detail to keep in mind. It's not like other games where if you switch classes, whatever bonus that you had during that last class just disappears, and then you're just stuck with whatever your new class provides you. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. So I can tell this is going to be a very long video already. Maybe I'll just split this up into 2 different videos because just for the sake of length. So moving on to character class or just general class characteristics themselves. This is just like more gameplay, general gameplay aspects that I've noticed and I think are noteworthy. So first of all, starting off with the knife. In Killing Floor 1, if you guys have played Killing Floor 1, the knife is kind of useless, to be completely honest. I mean, you're not going to go around using the knife unless you're a Berserker class, or unless you're just intentionally fucking around, and if the last Zed's a fucking Claude or something like that, you're just screwing around and chopping their head off. You know, you're not going to use the knife in any other situation than that. However, in Killing Floor 2, the knife is actually very strong because of how the new melee system works. In Killing Floor 2, your primary weapon, your quick primary left click attack, your melee attack with a knife is actually very fast. I mean, the Killing Floor 1 melee attack knife was pretty fast too, don't get me wrong, but in Killing Floor 2, it's pretty fast. And not only that, but you can actually fight with it. You can actually effectively combat lots of Zeds at once because your knife will actually stumble them if you hit them in the head or something like that. I'm not too sure on the details because even though the Killing Floor 2 knife is a little bit better than the Killing Floor 1 knife, it's more effective, I should say. It's still really, really weak, and it's gonna take you forever to kill even like a clot or a what are the names of the Zeds that have the big swords on the big blades as arms? I forgot their names already. Crap. But anyways, you get the point. You can fight with it. It's a pretty decent last resort weapon, but again, it's not a primary weapon. You shouldn't really rely on it too much. As for the M9 pistol that all classes start with, it actually counts as part of your perk weapon. So because it's part of your default loadout. So if you run out of ammunition for all your other perk weapons, but if you want to still keep getting EXP, what you can do is you can just pull out your M9 pistol and you can shoot Zeds with that way, and you will still get EXP with it. Unlike if you use other class weapons, whereas if you use those, you don't get any EXP at all. So just keep that in mind. Your M9 pistol still counts as a perk weapon, and no matter which class you are, so the M9 pistol will always get you EXP. In addition, I think, this is just a hunch of mine, but I think you do gain EXP for other perks if you use non-perk weapons. Like, say, for example, you're a commando, but you have the medic AR, because, hell, you have the money for it, and you're just using it so that you can heal other people as well. Obviously, if you use a medic gun as a commander, you don't gain EXP because you're using a medic gun, and that's not part of your class, because you're not dealing damage by using a commando gun, because the medic gun isn't a commando gun. You see where I'm going with this, hopefully. But I want to say it gets you EXP for the medic class. I don't know if this is confirmed, though. Maybe someone else can confirm this for me in the comments, but that's just a hunch that I'm getting, and if it does work that way, then I think that's a fantastic mechanic. That you don't have to absolutely be a field medic in order to get field medic EXP. You should be able to gain EXP for another class because you're using a gun as part of that class, and so on and so forth. I mean, the Killing Floor 2 devs did say that they didn't want to penalize whatever players for using, like, diversifying their weapon loadout. If you want to, they did mention in their YouTube interviews that they didn't want to make it so that your playstyle is just so rigid that you have to play to your class style, and instead they want to encourage kind of like more like broader play styles and whatnot. So hopefully, being able to gain EXP for another class that you are currently not is a thing. And the medic syringe. So in the medic syringe in Killing Floor 2 behaves a little bit differently in Killing Floor 2. In Killing Floor 1, when you heal yourself, it drains all your syringe charge, because in Killing Floor 1, you could tell how when you could heal yourself if it's at 100, and it's, if you heal yourself, it goes down to 0, and it slowly charges back up to 100 again, so you can heal yourself again. But healing teammates only drained half your charge. So when you heal teammates instead of yourself, the 100 goes down to 50, and it goes up for there. So technically, you can heal your teammates twice with one full syringe charge. However, in Killing Floor 2, it's a little bit different, because because both healing yourself and healing teammates drains all the charge. Instead of having a 0 to 100 bar, it actually has like a little stamina bar next to your HP and your armor on the lower left hand corner of your screen, where when you heal yourself or you heal another friend, then it'll just completely remove that entirely. It's not like Killing Floor 2 where you can heal a teammate twice in a row. It doesn't work like that. However, what it does work as, if that even makes any sense, is that when you heal a teammate, your syringe charges twice as fast. I think that this is a kind of like a nerf because it makes medics, or it's a nerf to your personal syringe because it makes medics more important, because obviously teammates can't heal each other twice in a row for 40 HP. You can only heal them once for 20 HP. I think that's how much it heals you, just like in Killing Floor 1. And you have to wait like, however many seconds that it is when it goes back to full charge again, and then heal them again. So obviously that's a little bit of a nerf in that respect. So just keep that in mind. Your own personal medic syringe is not as useful as it was in Killing Floor 1 in terms of healing your teammates and stuff like that. And in addition, let's see, where am I at? I have this this long list of notes I'm reading off of just to let me know where I'm at. Teammates can block your bullets. I think this is also a thing in Killing Floor 1. I'm not too sure though. But in Killing Floor 2, this is definitely a thing. Teammates will block your bullets. So just keep in mind that if you're playing on a map like Biolab, where there's a lot of choke points, there's a lot of narrow hallways, just make sure that either you don't have a lot of teammates standing in front of you who will potentially block your shots, or if there are a lot of teammates in front of you, then try to control your shot fire and make sure that every single shot does count, because obviously you're not going to get EXP if you're for the Zeds you shoot if your teammates are soaking up all the bullets. So obviously you gotta control your fire a little bit more because teammates will block your bullets. I think that the teammates can't actually body block you. Like, there's no collision for your own character. There's just collision for your own bullets. So if that makes any sense. I think the support, there's one caveat to this that I think exists, but I'm not too sure again. This needs to be confirmed. But the support class might be a little bit different because they have shotgun penetration. Maybe the shotgun penetration effect, the bonus that comes with the support class, it applies to your teammates, where you can actually shoot through your teammates. I'm not too sure about that though. I wouldn't count on it, so just keep on the lookout for that. In addition, in Killing Floor 2, you have a quick melee function with primary pistols and primary guns and pistols. And Killing Floor 1, and basically most other first-person shooters that are kind of like zombie-oriented, you don't really have a function or button that lets you just, shove your gun butt, up someone's face to shove in the way. You don't have that. In some games, I know they do, but in Killing Floor 2, thankfully they do have this option. This mechanic is very useful for getting the Zeds out of the way if you need to go away, if you need to just run. Like if you're getting grabbed by a clot, it'll actually say press V to melee them with your primary gun, and what your guy will do depending on what kind of gun you have. But in most primaries, your guy will just kind of slam his gun butt against the Zed that's grabbing you or it's in the way, and they'll stumble, so you can take the opportunity to kind of run around them and run past and be on your merry way. For pistols, it's a lot quicker. It's nowhere as lethal, because with when you melee with primary weapons such as assault rifles, stuff like that, your guy will you can actually, if you aim well enough, you can actually get headshots with this melee function, which is pretty neat because you can actually, it's a legitimate kill move. It's more used as an emergency, get the fuck out of my way, like there's a Scrake chasing me, I need to fucking get out of here mechanic. But it's nice that you can actually kill Zeds, at least the weaker Zeds like Clots and Cysts and stuff like that, and just pop their heads right off and like that. With pistols though, you can't really do that because obviously they're just pistols. You can't really, unless you just bash them with the head repeatedly. I don't even think you can kill them that way. You can actually kill Zeds because it does damage them over time. Eventually they will die. It's just that it'll take a long time. And with pistols, your guy will just your pistol whip melees, that's why I like to call them pistol whips, are a lot faster than if you were to melee with a primary weapon, but it's nowhere near as lethal. You're not gonna pop heads with it. So if you really want to get out of the way, I do recommend switching to your secondary and just repeatedly mashing V so you can just bat all the Zeds out of the way. And it's really quick, so you can get out of the way really fast, and then switch back to your parent weapon if you need to. But just keep that in mind. Press V to melee with whatever weapon that you have. Obviously, if you have a melee weapon, this doesn't really do anything because it's your primary attack anyway. In Killing Floor 2, next thing, in Killing Floor 2, the main way of gaining EXP is by dealing damage to Zeds. In Killing Floor 1, it's a little bit different because all perks have like 2 objectives that you need to fulfill in order to level up to the next rank, or to the next level. Level to the next level. Redundancy. You guys know what I mean. But, in Killing Floor 2, this is a little bit different. As the devs have stated in their YouTube interviews, they admitted that some of these objectives were really hard to obtain. Like, for example, the commando killing the stalkers. Like, having such an enemy-dependent objective was a really big pain in the butt for a lot of people. So instead, what they decided to do was you can achieve one or the other. Like the objectives are not like bars of EXP you need to fill like they were in Killing Floor 1. They're just directions. It's just straight up simple directions that tell you what you need to do in order to gain EXP in order to rank up to the next level. So, for example, as the Commando class, it has the same objectives as it had in Killing Floor 1, but instead of unlike Killing Floor 1 where you had to achieve both objectives, in Killing Floor 2, you can do one or the other, and this is really good because now you're not limited to, or you're not having to constantly worry about, oh, where's all the stalkers? I need to kill all the stalkers. And in Killing Floor 1, when there were, other commandos in your team, it kind of comes down to a contest to see who can kill the most stalkers the fastest. And in Killing Floor 2, thankfully, you don't have to worry about that because that objective is not the reason why you're not able to rank up. So in that respect, I think this is a fantastic kind of change that obviously Killing Floor 1 had a little bit of a problem with. So like I said, main way of gaining EXP is by straight up dealing damage to Zeds. You don't even need to kill them, just damaging them. As long as you get at least a couple shots into a Zed, you will gain EXP for them. Even if it's on a Scrake or a Flesh Pound or a Bloat, as long as you damage them a little bit, or at least a good percentage of them, then you will gain EXP for damaging or assisting that kill. No matter who kills the Zed, everyone gets EXP. Sometimes, however, I do want to mention that you don't get EXP even if you think you've damaged them. So just keep this in mind as a warning that you do need to make all your shots count, because there will be some times where you think, oh man, I shot that guy and I didn't get any EXP for that. So just keep in mind it might be a thing where you thought you shot a Zed but you didn't get EXP for it. So yeah, just be careful of that. And just like in Killing Floor 1, when your HP gets low, you will move more slowly. This is to simulate, how when you're weakened, you're hurting, so obviously you move a little bit less quickly. And obviously in Killing Floor 2, where Scrakes and Flesh Pounds chase you around the map all the time, this is really dangerous. So make sure that you have competent medics on your team who can heal you when your HP drops pretty low. So yeah, just keep them in mind. Also, now that sprinting is a mechanic in Killing Floor 2, obviously having low HP is even more dangerous because you're going to be sprinting half as fast, or something like that. Let's see, next item of business. Oh, and whenever you die, just like in Killing Floor 1, you will drop whatever item what is in your hands last. I think there are other games where you drop like the most expensive item that you're holding. Like for example, CS:GO, you will drop the most expensive weapon or equipment that you had on you when you die. However, in Killing Floor 2, you will just die with whatever you had on your hands. So if you had a knife out or a syringe out, in Killing Floor 1 you can actually drop your knife or you drop your medic syringe if you had that out. But no one will be able to pick it up because everyone has that. However, in Killing Floor 2 you just don't drop it at all. You just drop nothing. So make sure that if you do know that you're going to die, like if there's a Scrake charging at you and there's no way for you to dodge and you know you're gonna die, you may as well just try pulling out your whatever most expensive weapon that you have on you and just die with it out, so you can hopefully come back on the next wave when you respawn and pick it back up. So there you go. Unlike in Killing Floor 1, however, in Killing Floor 2, when you do die, the game punishes you by subtracting a percentage of your total dosh. Now, I don't know if this is true for all servers, but this is definitely true for multi-man servers, like the modded servers where they let like 16 people or 30 people into the server, like 30-man Killing Floor 2 servers, where it's really easy to gain a lot of dosh because of just the number of people who are in the server. I think that Killing Floor 2 calculates dosh, or the amount of dosh that you gain per wave, as like the survival bonus, quote unquote. By the amount of people that's in the server, because in 30-man servers you seem to get a lot of dosh really quickly. However, in normal 6-man servers, I don't really know if this is the thing. I think it is, but I could be wrong, because maybe the amount of dosh that they take out, that they subtract from you as a punishment for dying, is a little bit less noticeable than it is in like 30-man servers, by the way. But if this is a thing, like if this is confirmed a mechanic in the game, next time I play, I would go around to actually notice when I die in 6-man servers and see my little dosh counter. I think this is a kind of a bad idea because it gives you a less of a chance to come back. Like in Killing Floor 1, it was really hard for you to be able to, get back in the game if you died, especially if you didn't have much money to begin with, because if you happen to die when on a wave where you just bought all your good gear and you're ready to go, and then you die with only like the 500 pounds on you, and on top of which, if you don't drop your most expensive gun, then that's gonna throw an even larger wrench into your money situation. So in Killing Floor 2, the fact that they do that they subtract money from you, which they didn't do in Killing Floor 1. You were just stuck with the amount of dosh that you had when you died, and you didn't get any wave survival bonus on top of when you come back. It's like in Killing Floor 2, it's just a lot harder to come back, and you have to rely even more on your teammates to give you dosh in order to get some more, get your good guns back and get your good equipment back. However, I do think that in Killing Floor 2, even if you do die, you do get the wave end bonus for you, so it does kind of balance it out. So I don't know really what to think of this. Overall, it seems good because you still get that wave ending bonus on you, and especially because when you join a server, like when you first join a server that's in progress, they're on like wave 3 or 4 or something like that. In Killing Floor 1, when you first join a server in progress, you only start with 250 pounds, and that's it. Like that never changed. Whether you join on round 2 or round 10, you only had 250 pounds, and that was it. You had to make do with what you got. But in Killing Floor 2, depending on which wave you're on, and when you first join in, your starting dosh will change accordingly with how many rounds have gone by, or what the last round wave bonus money was. I think that's how it works. So it's a lot easier to get into the game right off the bat in Killing Floor 2 than it was in Killing Floor 1. So overall, I think it's a good change. But the fact that the game punishes you for dying it's kind of irksome. It kind of annoys me. But again, that's just my own opinion. Maybe some of you guys have a little bit different opinion on that. Anyways, this is good. This has been a 30-minute video already. This is gonna be like a 3-part video. I can feel it coming. So, anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I will continue this in the next video. So stick around until then.